So today we are going to be doing Shatabhisha Nakshatra. I don't even know how to pronounce that thing. It's Shatabhisha Nakshatra. Okay. Now this nakshatra falls all in Aquarius. Now if you're new to my channel, this segment in my channel is about why two people of the same zodiac sign think differently. Why is it that two Aquarius people think differently? You know, because you might be Aquarius and your best friend might be Aquarius, and you're like, we think the same, we think differently. So that means astrology doesn't work. It's garbage, right? Oh, no. See, in the Vedic system, each zodiac sign, which is 30 degrees long, okay, like 30 feet long, imagine that, and is divided into 2.5 sections. Each of those 2.5 sections are being ruled by a different planet, different energy, because each degree in the progression has a different sort of value to it. And those 2.5 sections then divided into 4 parts named Padha. You know, we'll get to that later. But, so during your birth time, when moon was in 6.41 degrees to between 20 degrees, you were in the constellation of Shatabhisha. Okay? Again, I'm pronouncing it wrong. But anyway, yes. And why the moon, not the sun? Because moon is your mind. Moon is more important because moon is the way you think. Moon is the way you relate to things, the way you express your emotions to people, how you feel about certain things. Sun doesn't make you do that. Sun is your soul. So this is why moon is very important. If you don't know, you should look at your moon sign. You probably think more like a moon sign that you have than your sun sign. Okay? So this particular constellation is ruled by the North Node Rahu. So you have Aquarius, which is ruled by Saturn, but now Rahu comes into play. And the symbolism for this is about 1,000 doctors or an empty circle. Okay, so 1,000 doctors mashed together in a circle or an empty circle. You know, it's kind of related to the medicine man type of thing, but it's kind of there's a little misconception there. We'll clear that up. So let's figure out how these people think. So traditionally, people relate this constellation to people, who are medicine men, who are doctors, who are there to, heal you. Okay. However, that is somewhat true, but mainly, especially nowadays, this nakshatra really becomes about problem solving. Because if you look at it logically, what does the doctor do? Doctor solves your health problem. So this nakshatra is about solving problem, and it could be any problem. You could be a consultant for a computer company, solving their network problem. You could be a consultant for a food company. You could be managing how they should manage their restaurant. You could be anybody who just loves solving problems. You could be a scientist who's trying to solve this mystery of cancer. Even though they've actually already have a cure for cancer, they just don't want to show it to us, but that's a whole different subject. But so this nakshatra is about that. Now, the symbolism of boundary that it represents is that these people are about being in an enclosed circle. So what happens with this constellation when your moon is there is that it feels like there's a boundary in your life. And that's why they show this empty circle. It represents a boundary. Because you might want to take a lot of action and you want to go to all all the heights of the world of success. But you feel limited in your resources and your mind feels limited. And this is actually an illusionary boundary. It's actually you yourself is creating this boundary. It's like you are not willing to take enough action to get to where you should be. And that's what happens. So what happens with these people, first of all, they keep everybody in their close circle. So they have a little, their circle of boundary and everybody's in there. And those are the people they actually interact with. They actually tell who they really are. Because Aquarius people, when men and women come out very cold in terms of relationship, in terms of relating to them, because they just are always like in their own la-la land, and they're all about happy-go-lucky type of thing. They always just want to, have fun with life. And you feel like, man, this person is not really serious about themselves. However, their best friend has a totally different image of them, because their best friend knows, oh my God, this person is such a hard worker and she loves family. She wants to find true love. However, the people who are on the outside of the boundary don't see that. So this is kind of like a little problem. They don't show their true self to a lot of people, and that's why they feel stuck. And moon is not necessarily too happy in this nakshatra because of the fact it has the Saturn and Rahu energy in it. So, and moon doesn't do well with these two, so they always feel stressed, and that's why they feel they have this boundary that they cannot get out of. However, these guys are very studious. They're very intelligent. Because first of all, it's an air sign. However, it's not the air sign like Gemini where the mind is just divided into 10 different things. Saturn is a planet that focuses on one thing and it's slow moving. So there's a lot of details that need to be taken care of in this nakshatra. And Rahu is very clever. Rahu is the planet that is controlling this particular section in the Aquarius, is very clever. It just wants to, it'll do whatever it takes to sell you what you want. We have discussed this before. So these guys are, actually very intelligent. They find success in their life. But sometimes, depending on what padha it's in, I've noticed, they find success between 32 and 36. Between 32 and 36 because Saturn is a slow moving planet. And Rahu is a quick giving planet. And there's a tug of war that is happening in this nakshatra. So, but remember, Saturn is far more powerful, than Rahu. So Saturn usually just lets its slow moving effect go during the early and mid 30s. And that's when they see, but usually they get things on time. They get their, education on time, they get married on time, and they get the job on time. However, their enclosed circle, the temporary imaginary circle, keeps their success and keeps their mind limited within those things to a certain age. Now you can break out of this. Of course you can break out of this. I've discussed the remedies many times and I've seen people breaking out of this thing many times, So, and also, medical too. They can become also good medical doctors as well because they're all about details. This nakshatra, they are far more detail oriented than any other air sign out there, which is Libra and Gemini. Okay, so that's one of their good qualities, that when they work, they make sure that the details are taken care of. So guys, this was my analysis on Shatabhisha nakshatra. I am going to finish this off this week, this 27 constellation. And so if you're new to my channel, subscribe above because you just found out why two Aquarius are thinking differently. If you want to know more about astrology and its myths and misconceptions, check out my link below. Otherwise, I'm going to see you soon. Bye-bye.